Hi, and welcome to this overview of air pollution. Air pollution occurs when the air is contaminated with any chemical, physical, or biological agent. It is the world's largest environmental health risk, leading to millions of deaths around the world each year. Although anyone can be affected by air pollution, people who are most vulnerable include the elderly, children, and people with chronic lung or heart disease. Let's take a look at outdoor air pollution first. The outdoor air can be polluted by natural sources or human sources. Natural or biogenic sources of air pollution include pollen, bushfires, or dust from deserts. Pollution of the air from human sources, also called anthropogenic air pollution, is commonly due to industries, burning of fossil fuels, and the use of motor vehicles. There are hundreds of different types of air pollutants. Let's take a quick look at a few important ones. Particulate matter is a complex mixture of small particles and liquid droplets that are mainly from industry or motor vehicle exhausts. Dust storms or bushfires can also generate large amounts of PM. Particulate matter is classified according to the diameter of the particles. The health effects of particulate matter are mostly due to particles that are less than 10 micrometers in diameter. These particles can reach the deepest parts of the lungs and enter the bloodstream. Nitrogen dioxide is usually formed when fuel is burned at a high temperature. Common sources are the exhaust of motor vehicles, industry, power plants, and gas stovetops. Carbon monoxide is colorless and odorless and is formed when the carbon in fuel doesn't burn completely. The main source of carbon monoxide is motor vehicle exhausts, and therefore, carbon monoxide levels are very high in areas with heavy traffic congestion. Other sources include industry, incinerators, and bushfires. Sulfur dioxide is a gas that can be produced when sulfur-containing fuels are burnt during industrial processes like in power plants and refineries. Lead is produced mostly as a result of metal and ore processing. Motor vehicle exhaust used to be a major source of lead pollution. However, regulatory efforts to reduce lead in fuel has led to a massive reduction in lead emissions. Ozone is a gas that is not emitted directly to the air, but is formed as a result of sunlight acting on other chemicals in the air. Ground-level ozone is a pollutant, whereas ozone that occurs naturally in the upper atmosphere has a protective function. There are hundreds of other air pollutants that can lead to adverse health effects. Okay, so what are the health effects? Exposure to air pollution can result in a wide range of short and long-term health effects. The health effect will depend on factors like the type of pollutant, concentration, length of exposure, and individual characteristics of the person exposed to it. It can range from minor symptoms like irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat to more severe conditions like heart and lung disease or cancer. It can also lead to increased hospital admissions and an increase in death rates. In 2012, outdoor air pollution was estimated to have caused 3.7 million deaths around the world. In addition to causing health effects, air pollution can also lead to damage to property, reduced visibility, and have other effects on the environment, like acid rain. What can we do to reduce air pollution? Well, there are many different ways to reduce air pollution. These require the combined efforts of governments, industry, and individuals. For example, governments can take actions like developing standards, regulating the level of pollutants in the air, developing policies to reduce environmental impact of development, and using clean energy sources. Industry can take steps like reducing their emissions to the environment, taking measures to prevent pollution accidents, or developing technology to reduce emissions, like electric cars. At an individual level, reducing the reliance on fossil fuels can be achieved with actions like walking, using public transport, or choosing energy-efficient means of living and transportation.